Welcome back. You're still watching KUTV Primetime News, and we are back with a conversation around new spaces in technology. And for a long time, since time immemorial, actually, human beings have been in the constant quest of looking for things and systems to better their lives, and hence the growth of various technologies that we see and we have seen over time. And talking also of new spaces in the world of technology, recently, just a few days ago, Richard Branson, a billionaire, went into the edge of space and discovered that space that he needed to travel since he was a little boy. And joining us now to understand about the new spaces that we have in the world of technology is Victor Malala. Victor Malala is a software developer and CEO at Analytica Soft, a platform where the employer and the employee are brought together so that if you're an employer and you're looking for an employee, you get them. And if you're an employee, a possible employee looking for an employer, you get them as well. Karibu sana Victor Malala, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Martin. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. I'm so much grateful.
Amazing, amazing. I hope I gave you a proper introduction before we delve deep into this particular conversation. But if not, you can be able to say a few things as we go through the conversation. But first, maybe before you go very far, Richard Branson recently, took a flight to the edge of space. What do you make of this whole scenario?
This is very wonderful. I think I can say that this is a very good projection when it comes to innovations and technology. Basically, this is what is happening in the third world. It can be a very strange story in our class, the type of countries we live in, but I believe this is what we should be looking forward to do. And much of it is strange stories to most of us, but this is good. I like what he's doing. I like the journeys he's doing, and it looks like virtual reality. Yes. So I think that's okay, Martin.
Yes. And do you think his billionaire counterpart, Jeff Bezos, will actually also get to the edge of space? He's actually aiming to go higher. Would you think that he will actually make it to that particular space?
Yeah, I believe he can make it, Martin. You see, these are human trajectories, and they can always be countered by other human trajectories. Life is all about how much you can do with what you have. And in my own opinion, it looks like virtual reality in the first case, because when I saw this coming in air and I read about it on news and social media, I didn't know that it will be successful. On 7th July, fortunately, I saw it happening, and I believe his competitor can make it.
All right. And now in the dynamic world that we live in, and looking at those billionaire businessmen, we have other business people, including some of the people that are watching the show today, including yourself and myself. We are all in the process of making money from different ventures. And in this dynamic world that we live in, we need, as they say, we need to adapt to new technologies and enhance new technologies to help us do our businesses, our work better. Which factors do we need to consider as business people before we step in and adapt to new technologies or create new technologies to help us with our work?
That's a very excellent question, Martin. There are so many factors someone needs to consider before venturing in any field, let alone technology. But specifically in technology, we are looking at talent. Talent is very important. You can't improve technology or venture into a field which you do not have talent. We are also looking at government regulations in that sector. There should be proper regulations to enable the business to grow, to enable the business environment to grow. So those are factors you need to consider. We are also looking at the supporting platforms. If your platform requires dedicated internet connections, is that capability or such a platform available to your customers and to your business environment. So these are, among other factors, are the things somebody needs to consider before they can venture or move to a new technology in the business world.
All right. And as we continue to adapt new technologies, there has also been an outcry from people, especially those being rendered jobless by, their work being replaced by different technologies. There has been a cry that sooner or later, technologies like artificial intelligence would come and do away with jobs that are to be done by actual people. And of course, you have seen a lot of machines being constructed to make sure that we get to have an easier flow of work. Do you think these people are justified in saying that there needs to be a balance between employment and technology, and are these fears legit in the first place?
Yes, the fears are very legit. I can approve that. That's very true. And for your information, nobody is safe in this particular change. It's the fourth industrial revolution, as we call it. Nobody is safe. Even the programmers themselves are being replaced. So what is important is that we need to tune ourselves. We need to change how we do things in order to suit to the new technological requirements, in order to suit to the new frameworks that are coming in place. We have softwares that are already doing automatic code generation. That means the software developers who have been rendering other people jobless are also being rendered jobless. So it is a sword that is cutting on both ends, Martin. And these people are justified to complain that this is going to happen.
All right, and that said, which jobs then would be safe in that particular regard, in your opinion?
Okay, thank you. In my opinion, I believe jobs in data science, jobs in, we are talking of artificial intelligence, we are talking of jobs in machine learning and networking. These are jobs that are very difficult to replace because they really need the human intervention. When it comes to collection of all the information on the internet, we have so much happening on the internet day in, day out. So this information, in order to be structured, to be meaningful to the business environment, to the banking industry, to the transport industry, to the governance, to politics and economics, it requires somebody who has skills that can collect this information, structure it, and make it meaningful to governance or to any other industry that may need it.
Doctors, psychologists, are they replaceable?
Sure, they are.
Okay.
There are specific areas of a doctor that can be replaced, but not all. For instance, in consultation, there can be an app that can manage consultation where somebody can feed in how they are feeling, and the app is able to tell that person the recommendation, the medical recommendations, and the medicine that they are supposed to take. But when it comes to the actual treatment, robotics may not do as much as what human beings can do.
All right. And moving on, are there any specific areas in your view that we should expect exponential growth of technology? Maybe what we have not already seen. Are there areas that you can predict that maybe in the next 5-10 years we're going to have exponential growth of technology where technology maybe is lacking today? Bwana Malala, if you can hear me. All right, we'll get back to Bwana Malala in a few minutes. You seem to have lost him there. Bwana Malala, I hear that you can hear me. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still there, Martin. Sorry for that internet connection problem I have on my end.
It's okay. Yeah, my question was, is there any areas, in your view, do we have any areas that we expect exponential growth in technologies? Maybe areas that don't have intense technologies at the moment, but maybe in the near future, we should expect something.
Yes, there are quite a number of areas, sorry, which do not have intense technology. I cannot admit that I know all the areas, but I can point out those that I have been able to notice. For instance, when it comes to data science, the science of collecting data, structuring it, and making it useful to a business environment. We still do not have enough information about it. We saw recently the former chairman of Microsoft, Bill Gates, also complaining about the same. We have very little profession in that industry. We have very little automation in that industry. And I believe venturing in such a field has a very wider catch for anyone who could be interested.
All right, and as we continue to focus on some of these areas, and of course, we know that it's going to be evident as we go by, but they have said that everything, the old men that is, have said that everything that comes with pros and cons, and technologies have come, and in accordance to that saying, they must have come with pros and cons. What are the cons that come with technologies, now that we are speaking about a lot of pros? What are the cons, and do we have ways of going around those particular cons that we have?
Yes, there are a number of problems, or I can say disadvantages related to technology. Anything has its advantages and disadvantages, as you just mentioned, Martin. Even the old men, they were hangers. They gave us some of the things we really don't know how they are helping us in life, but we still believe they could be useful. So technology has a problem of replacing people in the industry, right? We have people being rendered jobless. This is not an advantage when it comes to human labor. Then we have dangers related to health. Some of these technologies need to be regulated. We are talking of fifth generation internet, popularly known as the 5G. We have a lot of health concerns about the emissions related to the electromagnetic waves of this kind of technology, although some have been disputed, but there is evidence that there are side effects related to this. We are also looking at effects of health impact, especially on wildlife. You can see the birds of the air and animals are beginning to have effects. They even change their behavior because of rolling out of the new technology that we are looking at.
All right, and yes, before I ask you what you dream to see in the technological world, as a pathfinder and a CEO of Analytica Soft and other softwares that you have helped other people develop, what are the new spaces that are coming up that you can point, especially young people who are very innovative, to go and invent things to help the community even thrive better?
Thank you. Let me say thank you for that question, Martin. It's a very important question. When it comes to our country, it's a third world country. We cannot talk about the going to space and all that. We are talking about solving the problems our people have. Our people have problems related to internet.
All right, Malala, we seem to have lost you right there. Internet issues, as you spoke about internet. I think this is one of the areas, actually, anyone watching tonight, you should be able to venture into, pushing the limits of where our internet boundaries are and seeing that everyone... All right, Malala, I seem to be back. We had lost you there a bit.
Okay. If I heard you very well, Martin, you are asking about the areas available in terms of technology in our countries. I'm talking of a third world country. So we are looking at opportunities of internet connection. You can see right the type of internet I'm using here is not dedicated enough to support a very good communication. This is something that somebody can take advantage of.
Definitely.
Bring out a proper and dedicated internet connection, and we will take it up. It will have solved a problem. We are talking of a problem of sewage and garbage collection. If you can have a proper system which is computerized, we can be able to manage this problem. We are looking at unemployment. This is something that can be managed through dedicated platforms that are electronic, and we are able to manage part of the problem facing unemployment and many other areas, Martin. I have always believed that technology is responsible for 90% of the solutions of the human problems we face in this country.
All right. And just before I let you go, I promised to ask you a question about what you dream to see in the technological world. What is your dream?
I dream to be a game changer in the technological world, especially when it comes to the impact of the unemployed people and systems that run organizations. I would like to be the person who has come up with the best systems to run hospitals and any other systems in place. I would also like to be recognized for coming up with a platform that has helped to reduce unemployment or curb unemployment by a particular percentage or a particular rate. Thank you.
All right, that is Victor Malala, CEO of Analytica Soft. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and giving us an insightful thoughts on new spaces in technology.
Thank you, Martin. Have a good day.
All right, you too, sir. That is Victor Malala, software developer and CEO at Analytica Soft, telling us how we can venture into the new spaces and what comes with new and growing technology. And with that, we take a short break. We'll be right back with more on this particular bulletin. Don't go anywhere. This is KUTV Primetime News.